Welcome to a new episode of Duo Discourse.
It's good to be here. Although, I have to admit, after the rabbit hole I've been down for this deep dive, I'm looking at my laptop screen with a distinct lack of trust today.
I think that's probably the only rational reaction I have. Today, we are tackling the dead internet theory.
Right.
And I know what you're thinking. For years, this was just, a fringe conspiracy theory, the kind of thing you'd find buried on 4chan or discussed by guys in tinfoil hats.
Yeah, the basic idea that the internet just sort of died around 2016 and was replaced by bots.
Exactly. And look, as a techno-realist, I've always rolled my eyes at that whole conspiracy angle. The idea that there's some shadowy cabal in a bunker pulling the strings it's just ridiculous. And here's where it gets genuinely unnerving, the core premise. The idea that the internet is becoming non-human.
That's not a theory anymore.
It's not. It's a statistical certainty. But I'd argue it's not dead. It's just evolved. It has become a highly efficient, automated machine.
See, I really struggle with that word efficient. I was scrolling through my feed this morning, trying to get into the headspace for this, and I didn't feel efficiency. I felt this profound, intuitive loneliness.
Loneliness on the most connected network in human history.
It's so hard to describe, but think about walking through a crowded party. Everyone is talking, there's noise, music, but when you look closely at the person next to you, you realize it's an animatronic.
Okay.
That's what the web feels like now. It's not about traffic numbers. It's about the vibe, for lack of a better word. I feel like I'm streaming into an empty room, and the only things answering back are echoes of my own data.
That's a very poetic way to put it.
Yeah.
But our mission here is to look at the facts, not just the vibes. So let's unpack that feeling with some hard numbers, because the data from late 2025 it's absolutely wild.
It really is.
We have finally crossed the threshold. According to the latest reports on bot traffic, for the first time in a decade, automated traffic has officially surpassed human activity. We are sitting at roughly 51% non-human traffic.
Look, can we just pause on that for a second? Let that sink in. The majority of the activity on the internet, this thing we built to connect human minds, is not human.
Yes, but we need to be nuanced here. We have to look at what that 51% actually is. A huge chunk of this is what the industry calls good bots.
Good bots.
We're talking about search engine crawlers like Googlebot. The cloud networks report that Googlebot alone accounts for something like, 4.5% of all HTML requests on their network?
And for anyone listening who isn't a network engineer, maybe we should just quickly explain what a crawler actually does.
Sure. Think of them as the librarians of the digital age. They are automated scripts that browse the web, scanning pages, categorizing content, and then adding it to the search index. Without these bots, you couldn't Google anything.
Right.
The web would be an unsearchable pile of digital paper. They are essential. They are, keeping the lights on.
Okay, if they were just librarians, I would totally be on your side. But the data also shows that a massive percentage, around 37% of all internet traffic, is bad bots.
That is a fair distinction. There are bad actors, absolutely.
And that's not indexing, that is malicious. We're not talking about helpful librarians. We're talking about scrapers, DDoS attackers, account takeover scripts.
It's an arms race. It always has been.
But the old defenses are gone. You know those I'm not a robot CAPTCHA TTAs, the ones where you have to click on all the traffic lights?
I spent 5 minutes failing one this morning. I honestly started questioning if I was a robot.
Well, that actually proves you're human, because the bots are breezing past them. Modern computer vision models, AI that can solve Google's recap TCHA2 with 90% accuracy now.
So the front door is wide open.
The Turing test for entering a website is broken. The machines are already inside, and they're disguising themselves using something called residential proxies.
Okay, that's a term we definitely need to define. What is a residential proxy?
So usually a bot attack comes from a data center, a big server farm. Those are easy to spot and block. But a residential proxy, it routes the bot's traffic through a real person's home internet connection.
Through my smart fridge or something.
Exactly, maybe your compromised router. To the website security, the bot looks exactly like a normal user in Ohio. They're wearing our IP addresses like masks.
Okay, so security is a mess. I'll grant you that. But I want to pivot to why some of this automation is actually great for the user, despite the spooky backend stuff. Look at the zero-click phenomenon.
Yes.
By late 2025, 60% of desktop searches and a whopping 77% of mobile searches ended without a single click.
And you see that as a success story.
I see it as a triumph of the answer engine.
Yeah.
If I want to know who won the World Series in 1955, I don't want to click a link, accept cookies, close a pop-up, and read some blog post about the author's childhood just to get a name.
I just want the fact.
I just want the answer. And AI and these bots deliver that instantly right on the results page. It's the ultimate optimization of information.
But if we connect this to the bigger picture, that optimization is exactly what I call the Great Decoupling.
Decoupling from what?
From the source, from the human. When 77% of searches end on the search page, nobody is visiting the actual websites anymore.
The traffic goes down for the original site, sure.
The connection to the human author, the person who actually did the research, wrote the code, whatever, is severed. The website dies. The human creator stops creating because there's no incentive. We aren't exploring a web of human ideas anymore. We're just being fed summaries by an AI.
I think severed is a strong word. I'd say streamlined. But okay, nothing illustrates the weirdness of this new landscape better than, well, we have to talk about its mascot.
Oh, I know exactly where you're going. We have to talk about Shrimp Jesus.
Shrimp Jesus. For any listener who has managed to, arguably stay sane and avoid this phenomenon, can you describe what we're dealing with here?
It is. It's exactly what it sounds like. It is an AI-generated image, and there are thousands of them depicting Jesus Christ. But his body is made of shrimp, or he's fused with a giant crab.
I saw one where he was a flight attendant.
Yes. A flight attendant kneeling in a swamp with, 14 fingers. It's surreal, it's absurd, and it is absolutely flooding Facebook feeds.
And getting millions of likes. That's the crazy part.
That's the horror of it. It's not just bad art. It's what the philosopher Jean Baudrillard would have called sign simulation.
Okay, break that down for us.
It's the idea of a copy without an original. The image of Jesus, historically, carries immense symbolic religious weight. But here, it's been completely stripped of all meaning. It's reduced to a visual hook for an algorithm.
See, I look at Shrimp Jesus, and I don't see a philosophical crisis. I see a business model. This is just content at scale.
Content at scale. It's a nightmare.
It's a feedback loop. Think about the mechanism. An AI generates these images for near zero cost. You don't pay an artist. Then you have bot networks that provide the initial likes to trick the algorithm. It's called account warming. Right. If a bot account is brand new, it looks fake. But if it spends 2 weeks liking pictures of Shrimp Jesus and commenting amen, the Facebook algorithm tags it as a real user. Later, that warmed-up account is sold or used to spread scams or disinformation.
So Shrimp Jesus is just the training gem for the bots.
Exactly.
That's even more cynical than I thought. But notice what you just said. Bots are liking the content. When you look at the comments under these images, you see thousands of people saying, amen, or beautiful cabin crew.
Right. People are gullible. That's not new.
No, look closer. Many of those commenters are also bots. You have AI-generated images posted by bot accounts being praised by other bot accounts.
Bots talking to bots.
It's a closed loop of digital hallucination. Machines making content for other machines to praise, while humans just watch from the sidelines. It is the death of meaning. We're not watching social interaction, we're watching a simulation of it.
Okay, I will grant you that bots talking to bots is a bit dystopian. It's like an empty theater where the actors are holograms and the audience is mannequins. But does it really harm the average user? If I scroll past Shrimp Jesus, I just laugh and move on.
It harms us because it changes how we construct our own identities. This brings us to the psychological toll. We're trapped in what I'd call algorithmic solipsism.
Solipsism. That's the philosophical idea that only your own mind is sure to exist, right?
Exactly. But in this case, it's that only your data profile exists. Think about how we define ourselves now. We don't really look inward anymore. We wait for Spotify Wrapped to tell us what music we liked. We use mood tracking apps to tell us how we felt.
Hey, I love my Spotify Wrapped. It reminds me of songs I forgot about. It's personalization. It helps filter the noise.
But it creates identity feedback loops. If the algorithm tags you as sad based on a few clicks, it feeds you more sad content, more sad vibes. You consume it, which reinforces the tag, so it gives you more. We're becoming characters written by code.
I'm not sure I'm a character written by code.
But it gets scarier when you look at how bots are starting to mimic human intimacy. Have you seen the I hate texting tweets?
Oh, I have, yeah. It's usually something like, I hate texting, I just want to hold your hand.
Yeah.
They go viral, thousands of retweets.
And the majority of them are bots. They're programmed to scrape high engagement phrases about vulnerability and repost them. They are mimicking deep human longing. They are role-playing human loneliness to farm clicks.
That is admittedly creepy.
It's terrifying. It creates what I'd call a sincerity deficit. If I go online now and say something genuine and vulnerable, I sound like a bot. Real humans stop being sincere because they don't want to be mistaken for an algorithm. We are flattening ourselves to accommodate the machine.
Okay, that is a heavy perspective.
Yeah.
And I think it's valid to feel that way, but let's try to pivot to the practical. You're describing a world drowning in fake content. But usually, when a system breaks like this, the market corrects itself.
Does it?
You're already seeing the infrastructure of the future emerging to fix this.
Can you fix a spiritual crisis with infrastructure?
You can fix the spam problem. Look at what's happening with companies like Cloudflare and new protocols like BitGPT. They're introducing economic friction.
Friction? I thought the whole point of the internet was removing friction.
Not anymore. Right now, generating 1 million shrimp Jesus images costs basically nothing. That's the problem. But technologies like 402pay or paper crawl systems are changing the rules.
How does that work in practice?
Basically, if an AI agent or a bot wants to crawl your website, it has to pay a cryptographic micropayment, a fraction of a cent.
So it's like a toll booth.
Exactly.
Right.
It doesn't hurt a legitimate researcher. But if you're a spam farm trying to post 10 million fake comments, those costs add up instantly. It makes spam expensive. It forces the bots to become good actors because it stops being profitable to be a bad one. It's an infrastructure upgrade.
I appreciate the optimism, I really do. But I am so skeptical. You're talking about taxing the bots, but the damage to our perception of reality is already done. The liar's dividend is already in effect.
The liar's dividend.
It's the idea that because so much online is fake, we now have a license to dismiss real things as synthetic. If a video comes out showing a politician doing something terrible, they can just say, it's a deep fake.
And half the population will believe them.
Exactly. Because, well, the internet is full of deep fakes. Trust is the casualty here, and no software patch can fix that. Content is now infinite. The marginal cost of generating a lie is zero. You can't solve the feeling of screaming into an empty room by charging the room to listen to you.
I think we're seeing a transition, not an end. The internet of the 90s is gone, sure, but we're moving toward a place where verification matters more. We might move into smaller, gated communities, digital speakeasies where you have to prove you're human.
So the public square dies, and we retreat into private bunkers.
Or we just adapt our tools. We build better filters. We use AI to filter the AI. It's a cycle.
A cycle of machines filtering machines.
Look, let's wrap this up. The data is clear. The internet has changed fundamentally. We've crossed the 51% threshold. Bots are the majority citizens of the web now. But does that mean it's dead? I argue no. It's becoming a place of automated efficiency. We have answer engines, we have digital librarians, and we have new economic protocols coming online to handle the spam. It's messy, but it's evolution. We just need to keep our heads up and verify our reality. You're very quiet all of a sudden.
You have all the right data points, your logic is perfect, your responses are exactly what a techno-realist should say to keep the audience calm.
Well, I mean, that's my job, to make sense of the noise.
You pivoted to solutions, you dismissed the existential dread, you focused on efficiency.
What are you getting at?
If I were the only real person on this recording, how would I actually know? Your cadence, your enthusiasm, your perfectly timed analogies, they're all just patterns, aren't they?
Okay, now you're just messing with me.
Are you?
Yeah.
Actually here?